Work paused on Carillion construction sites. Work on construction sites run by failed building firm Carillion is to pause while decisions on their future are made, says the Insolvency Service. But work on most of Carillion's private sector service contracts, such as catering and cleaning, is to carry on until new suppliers can be found. Carillion's customers want to continue with existing services and will provide funding to retain staff for the moment. Meanwhile, payments to Carillion directors have been stopped. The Insolvency Service also confirmed that severance payouts to former executives would not be made. Several former executives would have received pay and benefits this year. Carillion had agreed to keep paying former chief executive Richard Howson a £660,000 salary and £28,000 in benefits until October as part of his departure deal. Former finance chief Zafar Khan, who left Carillion in September, was due to receive £425,000 in base salary for 12 months. Interim Chief Executive Keith Cochrane was due to be paid his £750,000 salary until July, despite leaving the company in February. On Monday, Carillion went into liquidation, putting thousands of jobs at risk. In response, Business Secretary Greg Clark met representatives of some high street banks to seek assurances that they will support small businesses affected by the Carillion crisis. I will continue to meet with them in the days and weeks ahead to ensure these commitments are being acted on, he said. Carillion was left with just £29 million before going bankrupt. Sites are silent and virtually deserted. Carillion apprentices among casualties. Carillion not alone in hitting problems. The collapse of Carillion was discussed during Prime Minister's questions. Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn accused the government of negligence, saying it awarded contracts to Carillion even when it became clear the company had problems. He also called on the government to end the costly racket of private sector firms running public services. Prime Minister Theresa May said a third of government contracts with Carillion were agreed by the previous Labour administration, adding she wants to provide good quality public services, delivered at best value to the taxpayer. Prime Minister's questions, the key bits and the verdict. Scandalous. Earlier GMB union boss Tim Roach had said the government's response to the Carillion crisis had been inadequate and inept. Mr. Roach said that his union had called on Business Secretary Greg Clark to set up a task force to help private sector companies and employees affected by Carillion's collapse. He called on other private sector companies to take on affected workers without a change in their terms and conditions, a process that he admitted would not be a short one.